has a story to claim. Sit back, listen to conversation between Terry Lynn and new authors on the rise, and let the journey begin.
Hello, friends. Welcome to my podcast, Conversations Between Terry Lynn and New Authors. On this episode, I'm talking with Ashley Castañón, who writes romance novels. Welcome, Ashley.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Please tell us about your writing and your first book.
Uh, yes, I just put my first book out in June, Submerged, Something in the Water story. It's a story about selkies and it's a paranormal romance. Back in 2020, I was in lockdown and I saw a Facebook post that was talking about selkies and was kind of following this prompt that you pick up a selkie's coat after she's dropped it and you hand it to her. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, thank you." And he's like, "Yeah, no problem." And then you now have a besotted spouse. And I thought it was so cute. And I was like, let me just work off of that. And I just thought it was such a great idea. And I've had a good time writing it.
I love that a Facebook post gave you an idea to write Submerged. What challenges have you faced as a new author, especially when it comes to publishing or marketing your book?
Oh, I've made every mistake. Um, the whole time I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, so let's see what's going on. I tried to traditionally publish, and then uh, I decided that this wasn't the market that I felt like would get enough publicity. So I decided to just go it out on my own so then I could control my own narrative. And I've made a bunch of mistakes there too, and I anticipate making more mistakes.
What was your favorite book as a child, and do you think it influenced your writing style today?
Yeah, my favorite book as a kid was The Secret Garden. I used to hear it every night on tape, and my parents would put it on. And then once I finally got it in person, I started reading it. And I read the rest of Frances Hodgins Burnett, and I really liked it because I could hear it, I could feel it, I could sort of see it in my mind as I was going on. And I also like that not all of her characters are like these perfect people. They're deeply flawed and they have personality traits that they have to develop over time.
I'll have to borrow The Secret Garden from the library. It sounds a very interesting book. Is there a scene or character in your book that's especially meaningful to you?
So there's a character in my book called Abuela. She's the main male character's grandmother, and she's kind of inspired by my own grandmother, and she died in 2017. So in a way, it's kind of like bringing her back to life, and I get to control the fact that she gets to live her best life because she didn't when she was alive. So in my book, she does.
I love the fact that you based Abuela on your grandmother.
Oh yeah. Abuela is kind of just like a fiery person. My grandmother was. She was not your traditional, don't get me wrong, she sat down and she crocheted a bunch, but she very much spoke her mind. She was really stubborn. And she never really let anything kind of get in the way of what she was planning on doing. Like she was going to go out on a trip or out with her friends, she was going to do it. And Abuela is exactly that same way. Abuela goes out, she makes friends, she goes out on dates. I'm excited because, I'm excited to introduce her later in life romance, but that's later on down the line.
I absolutely love that, a novel about a late life romance for Abuela. What age group do you write for, and what draws you to that specific audience?
Oh, I'm really, really obstinate that I don't want anybody under the age of 18 to read my books. You have your entire life to read romance novels, and you know what? Go watch movies, go read young adult romances. You have time. I also really firmly believe that nobody knows who they are until in their early 20s and teens. You have your whole life to make mistakes. So my characters are basically all in their 30s, and they're still making mistakes, like a lot of them.
I agree with you that kids under 18 shouldn't be reading romance. Are there any books or authors that inspired your writing style or love for storytelling?
Oh gosh, there's so many. I love just the genre, like it's exploded since in like just 10 years even, just because there's been so many things in paranormal romance and romantic fantasy. I really love Kimberly Lemming. I love how fun her characters is. I like how she just kind of like takes a concept and just runs with it. And I think she's doing such great things for the fantasy romance genre. And I'm always excited for like everything she writes. Um, I also love Meg Cabot. She's a great at writing humor, and she's great at like delving on those like messy aspects of how a character is and can become. I just can I just say all writers?
Sure. That's such a joyful way to put it. I love your humor and your passion for reading everything in every format. Wanting to create stories that others love the way you love books is such a perfect motivation.
Oh God, yes. The fact that we have so much at our disposal, I get to have like audiobooks on hand and then ebooks on hand and then a physical TBR list I don't want to talk about. You're gonna honestly need to get an attorney for me to reveal how many books are on my TBR list. Uh, and there's web comics now and web novels, and I love those like little like chapter things of like stories where you have to like wait like 4 hours or buy coins for, and I am guilty of that. And fan fiction, I loved fan fiction. God, people are so creative and so amazing.
What do you think makes a children's book truly memorable?
A children's book truly memorable? God, I feel like setting that expectation that nobody knows what they're doing and we're all kind of winging it. Um, James and the Giant Peach, nobody knew what they were doing. They were just bouncing around on a peach, just trying to figure out where they were going. I think Miss Spider was like the oldest of them, the winging it aspect.
Do you have any advice for other aspiring authors who are just starting out?
Yes, I do. Have a notebook, have like a couple of receipts, maybe the back of a birthday card, whatever it is, just because a good idea is always around. You're always going to witness some like drama that you like see at like a grocery store, and you're just like, I gotta write that down. That was good. Um, Been there. I always like keep that on hand no matter what. And my other suggestion is a rubber duck. Doesn't have to be a rubber duck. It could be like a figurine or a stuffy or something like that. Just your dialogue is so much better when it feels like something someone would say to somebody else. So it's just nice to work off of someone. I have my Joker figure on my desk right now, and we talk back and forth that way. And I know that sounds kind of dumb, but like it helps me problem solve. Yeah, it's my Joker figure from Persona 5 because I'm classy like that.
That's fantastic advice. Always being ready to capture ideas and speaking dialogue out loud, even to a rubber duck, are such practical, creative ways to keep writing natural and alive.
Yeah. Oh, and fan fiction. Fan fiction's another good thing. Do a bunch of fan fiction. Like if you see a movie or something like that and you don't like the way the ending is, change it. You're like, no, you don't get to die today. You don't get to die today. You should die. And you two, I feel there's a romance between the two. We should expand upon that.
I love that advice to change any ending you may not like. What exciting projects or books are you working on next?
Well, I actually have two books open that I'm working on right now. I'm just finishing up the editing bits for book two, named the second Something in the Water story. And I am working on the beginning of book three because I've been putting off marketing book one and editing book two by writing book three. So that'll come by sometime in the later year. And I have like maybe about six more tabs of books that are just ideas right now. Like I said, you never stop writing.
I love that determination, and the excitement really shows. Channeling the nerves into drafting the third book is such a creative way to keep the momentum going.
Oh God, yes. And none of them are perfect. All of them eventually, half of the material in it gets scrapped, so you just keep going.
Where can people find you online, follow your journey?
I am available on TikTok under Ashley C.K. Browell Author. I'm also available under that same handle on Instagram. I am probably more likely to be active on TikTok as it stands, and I have to figure out exactly how to make TikTok Shop work so I can also have my book available on there. It is currently available right now on Amazon and Ingram Sparks.
Thank you, Ashley, for your information. I will put the link to your social media handles in this episode's notes below.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
You are welcome, Ashley. Thank you, Ashley, for talking with me on my podcast, Conversations Between Terry Lynn and New Authors on the Rise.
Thank you so much for having me on this. It's been a real pleasure.
You are welcome, Ashley. Okay, my listeners, tune in next week when I talk with Mark Doherty and find out why he started writing. Until then, happy reading with your kiddos.